welcome to EC Electronics. So in this video, we are going to discuss about the working principles of all PMMCs. PMMC means Permanent Magnetic Moving Coil Instruments. So the voltmeters and ammeters that we study or we use come under the PMMC category. Okay, so we are going to see the various systems in PMMC and what is the torque equation of PMMC, and also we'll be doing a numerical question by using the torque equation. Okay, so we are going to see the working principle of PMMCs, that is the working principle of voltmeters and ammeters. So in this video, we will be discussing about PMMCs, which are Permanent Magnetic Moving Coil Instruments. Now, you may get confused sometimes what is actually this PMMCs. So the voltmeters and ammeters, the analog type which we use in the laboratories, are nothing but PMMCs. Okay, that is the voltmeters and ammeters come under the classification of PMMCs, or they are actually PMMC instruments, that is Permanent Magnetic Moving Coil Instruments. Now, what is actually the working principle? What all things are happening inside this PMMCs? Let's see. Okay, so this PMMCs consist of mainly three systems: deflecting system, control system and damping system. So the video just before this video, we have done the working principle of, or the working principles of indicating instruments. In that video, we have discussed about the deflecting force, controlling force and damping force. Okay, so and also we have discussed the various types of deflecting forces, various type of controlling forces and various types of damping forces. So in this PMMC instruments, these three forces or these three systems are present. That is the deflecting system, which will help you to indicate, or the instrument to indicate. Then there is control system, which will help in the controlling of the total equipment or the PMMC. And then there is a damping system, which will help the pointer to bring back to the original position. Okay, so this is the structure of a PMMC, and this is the pointer, and the pointer is pointing towards the scale. Okay, now let us see the systems one by one. The first one is deflecting system. Okay, I'm going to explain with the help of this figure. So the deflecting system consists of a coil, and the coil is made of copper, and this is the coil. You can see here there is a moving coil, and this copper coil is wound on an aluminum former. Okay, so this copper coil is there, which is a moving coil, which is wound on an aluminum former, and this coil is placed in between the poles of a permanent magnet. You can see there is a north pole and a south pole. So in between the poles of permanent magnet, this coil is placed. So the current or the voltage to be measured is passed through the coil, and this coil will experience a force and will provide the necessary deflection. So that is how the pointer will actually move. Due to this deflecting force, the pointer of this PMMC will actually move. Okay, so how it is moving is that the current or the voltage we actually need to measure. So if it is a voltmeter, it will be voltage. If it is a current, it will be current. Okay, so whatever value we want to measure, whether it is current or voltage, it is passed through the coil, and the coil will experience a force and provide the necessary deflection. Okay, so this is the working of the deflecting system, which is the first system present in a PMMC. The second system is a control system. You can see that in the middle there is a spring, and while discussing the controlling force systems or the controlling forces, we have discussed there are mainly two types of controlling forces, which can be spring control or gravity control. Here there is a spring, so it has to be spring control. Okay, so the spring will provide the necessary control. That is, the control torque is provided with the help of a spring control. Now we will be deriving the equation for torque, and in that you will be getting a more clear picture about the torque and all. Just know that here the controlling is given with the help of a spring. Okay, so that is the second system. Third one is damping system. That is, once the coil has moved, it has to come back to the initial state or the steady state, right, after making the reading. So it is actually provided with the help of a damping system. So when the coil wound on the aluminum former is rotating in the magnetic field, so an EMF is generated. Okay, so when the coil is rotating in the magnetic field, an EMF is induced, and this EMF, and if you are providing a closed path, it will create eddy current. Okay, and this eddy current will provide the necessary damping. We have also discussed the various type of damping systems. There can be air friction damping or fluid friction damping or eddy current damping. Here, since it is a magnetic system, since we are using magnets and magnetic control here, the damping provided is nothing but a eddy current damping. Okay, so I hope it is clear. So if you don't know about these systems, first go and watch that video on the various working principles of the indicating instruments. In that, we have discussed about various type of deflecting systems, various type of controlling systems, and various damping system. So here, the deflection is provided with the help of the magnetic field or its action, and control is provided with the help of a spring, and damping is provided with the help of eddy current damping. Okay, so that is all about the general working of a PMMC. So here the pointer is actually indicating with the help of a deflecting system. The system is totally controlled with a spring control, and the pointer is bring back to the initial state or the steady state with the help of a eddy current damping. Okay, so that is a sum total of this PMMC working. Now let's see what is the equation for the torque getting generated in this PMMC. So next we are going to derive the torque equation for a PMMC. So consider that this is the coil. I'll shade it with some color. Okay, so this is the coil that we are placing in the magnetic field. Okay, so this is the coil, and the coil has n number of turns also. Okay, so this is the coil in black color, and its dimensions are L and D. I hope you can see it. It is L and D. And the angle made by the coil with the magnetic field is marked here, and it is 90 degree. Okay, so this is nothing but 90 degree. 90 degree it is. Okay, so I hope you can see all these things. Okay, now what is the force experienced by? We'll write we'll start with the force. The force experienced by the coil is due to the magnetic field is given by F equal to B into I into L into sine alpha. Now alpha is the angle between the conductor and the magnetic field. Okay, so alpha is 90 degree. Sine alpha means sine 90 degree, so it is 1. So we can cancel it out. So the equation for force is obtained as B into I into L. Now, so this is nothing but a coil. It is not a single conductor, but it is a coil. Now consider that the coil has n number of turns. Okay, so there are n turns for the coil. Then F is given by F equal to B into I into L into N. Okay, where L is nothing but the length of the conductor. Now so we have to derive the equation for torque. This is only force. So what is the equation for torque? We will call it as TD, since this torque will cause the deflection. So the deflecting torque TD is given by F into D by 2. Okay, where F is given by this equation number 1, D is the dimension of the conductor by 2. Now just substitute in this equation, you will be getting the torque TD is equal to, I'm going to substitute it here, B into I into L into N into D by 2. Okay, so this will be the equation. Now this is a rectangular coil, and this rectangular coil has 2 sides. So you have to actually multiply TD into 2. That will be the total torque experienced. Okay, so it is experiencing torque from both the sides. So you have to multiply it with 2, and the total torque you will be getting is B into I into L into N into D. So that will be the equation for torque. Now this will be the equation, and you know L into D is nothing but the area of your coil. So you can write it together. I'll write it here, L into D, L and D together. and you can replace it with the area. Okay, with the area. So you will get the equation as B into I into N into A. Now you can take this N, A and B together as a constant, because we know that the magnetic field for a permanent magnet, it will be constant. N is also constant, A will be also constant. So the only changing factor is I. So you can take this B into N into A together and into I. And you can replace BNA or NBA with a constant. I'll call it as G. So you can write TD is equal to G into I. Okay. So from this relation, you are getting that the deflecting torque is directly proportional to I, because G is a constant. Okay. So the deflecting torque will get as directly proportional to I. Now, there are two torques actually. There is a deflecting torque and also there is a controlling torque which is provided by the spring control. Okay. And the equation for the controlling torque is given by Tc is equal to K into theta. And in order to have proper controlling, okay, so we'll talk about it later. So Tc is nothing but controlling torque. Okay. Controlling torque Tc is equal to K into theta. Now what is K? K is nothing but the spring constant. Theta is the angle of the spring control. Okay. So what is Tc? Tc is the controlling torque. Td is the deflecting torque. And in order to have proper control, Td is equal to Tc. So this is the relation. So you can equate Td is equal to Gi with K theta. Okay, so I'm going to remove all these things. I'll keep only the final equations. So just know that there are two types of torque the PMMC is experiencing. One is the deflecting torque. Next one is the controlling torque provided by the spring control. So in order to have proper controlling of this PMMC, both the torques has to be equal. So what is the final equation for TD we have obtained? TD we have obtained as G into I. Okay, so this is my first equation. What is the equation for controlling torque? Tc is equal to K into theta, where K is the spring constant. Now we have to equate these two equations. So 1 equal to 2, that is you can write Gi equal to K theta. And from that you will get I, which is the current, is equal to K into theta by G. Now just know that G is nothing but N into B into A, where N is the number of turns, B is the magnetic field, A is the area of your coil. Okay, so this thing also you should be knowing. This is the value for G. Okay, so this is the equation for current, and we have actually derived the equation for current from the torque equations by first finding the torque equations and then equating them. Okay, so I'm hoping that you understood that how to derive the torque equation and how to find the current value. Now we are going to do a small problem on this PMMC. Okay, so let's do the problem. So the question is this: a moving coil ammeter. So while starting this video, I have told you that the PMMC's most common examples are voltmeters and ammeters. Okay, so you will be facing a lot of this type of numerical questions from the voltmeter and ammeter session. So you have to apply the equations of PMMC. So question is, a moving coil ammeter with a resistance of 120 ohm gives a full scale deflection of 120 degree when a potential difference of 100 millivolt is applied across it. Okay, so you can apply either voltage or current. You know that according to Ohm's law, you can derive voltage or current from the other value. So it is possible to apply the voltage also in order to make the coil to move. Okay, so this is also possible. So the coil has dimensions 30 mm bar 25 mm and 100 turns. So L and D and N value is given. Then the control spring constant is 0.375 into 10 raised to minus 6 Newton meter per degree. Find the flux density in air gap. So we need to find the value of B. Now first let us write all the given values. Okay. First, R is given, R is 120 O. Then deflection angle is given, that is theta is equal to 120 degree. Then what is the potential difference is given? V is equal to 100 millivolt. Then L cross D is given 30 mm bar 25 mm. So you have to also convert all units to the same unit. Okay, that is either to meter or to millimeter. Generally we convert to millimeters to meter. All to standard units you have to convert. Okay, then N is given as 100 turns. Then K, spring constant, is given 0.375 into 10 raised to minus 6. Then it is Newton meter per degree. So it is in meter. So we don't need to convert it. Okay. Now first I am going to, so these are the given values. First I am going to find the value of current I, because I have been given the voltage and the resistance. So I can find the full scale deflection current, because it is given that it is giving this instrument is giving a full scale deflection of 120 degrees. So the current will be getting is a full scale current. Okay, so this current I, which is a full scale current, is given by V by R. What is V? V is 100 millivolt. So 100 into 10 raised to minus 3 by 120 ohm. So it is 120, and current value you will be getting as 8.33 into 10 raised to minus 4 amperes. Okay. Now you can use this equation and you can substitute it in the equation for current, and you will get the value of B. So I'm going to I'll remove all these things. I'm going to write the equation here, because the values are already here. Okay. So just to make you know what all the values are given, I have written. Now I'm going to apply in the equation. First I need to find the other value, which is the controlling torque. TC is equal to K into theta. Okay, so this is the controlling torque equation. So what will be TC? TC is equal to, what is K? K is given here, 0.375 into 10 raised to minus 6. This is the K value, which is the spring constant, into theta. What is theta? Theta is the deflection of your coil. So in TC, that is in the controlling torque, TC is equal to spring constant into the deflection angle. So it is 120 degree. Okay. So earlier I have told this theta is a deflection of the spring. No, it is not the deflection of the spring. It is the deflection of your pointer. Okay. So it is 120 degree, and it will be, if you calculate it, you will be getting 4.5 into 10 raised to minus 5 Newton meter. Okay. So this will be the value of controlling torque. So we have obtained controlling torque and we have obtained the value of current. Now you can apply in the equation TD is equal to TC, and that is equal to N into B into A into I. That is, we are equating both the torques, and the controlling torque is, its value is obtained. And okay, first we'll write this equation, then we'll equate. Okay, what is the value of, or what is the equation for the deflecting torque? It is N into B into A into I. Okay, but we don't know the value of deflecting torque, and since the B value is not known to us, but we know that our controlling torque TC is equal to TD. This we have discussed, and we know the value of TC. So we can substitute the TC value here. That is 4.5 into 10 raised to minus 5 is equal to N into B into A into I. Here we know what is N, we know what is A, we know what is I. So you can find the value of B. So I'm going to remove all this, and I will be writing a neat equation to find the flux density B. Okay. So the equation is, this is the equation, TD is equal to N into B into A into I. I'm going to substitute in that equation. First I'll write in the form of B. B will be equal to, from this equation, TD by N into A into I. Here A is not directly given, but L and the dimensions are given. So if you take the product of length and breadth, you will be getting the area of the coil. Okay. So first we'll substitute what is the value of TD. TD is 4.5 into 10 raised to minus 5 we have obtained by N. What is N? N it is 100 turns. So 100 into what is L and D? It is 30 into 25. But remember that these two values are given in millimeters. So 30 into 25 into 10 raised to minus 6 then into the current value which we have found in the first step. So it is 8.33 into 10 raised to minus 4 amperes. Okay. 1 minute, I'll write it. So it is 8.33 into 10 raised to minus 4. So this is the equation you need to solve to find the flux density B. So if you solve it, you will be getting the value of B is equal to, I'll write it below, B equal to 0.1228 Weber per meter square. So this is a unit and the value is B equal to 0.1228 Weber per meter square. Okay. So I'm hoping that you understood how to do the question. So the main point is that we have to equate the controlling torque and the deflecting torque. We have an equation for deflecting torque and also we have an equation for the controlling torque. And you have to, if you want to find any of the variables, you have to equate these two torques and find the variable which you want to find by substituting all the other given variables. Okay. So this is the main type of problem which you have to face in especially competitive examinations. And I'm really hoping that you understood the concept and I'm really hoping you understood the working of PMMCs, its various systems and its torque equation and everything. And if yes, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up and also share it with your friends. And if you want more videos, please do subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching and keep on watching.